Good morning, everyone. Let's begin with your doubts. So please post your doubts. Please post your doubts. Let's begin with solving your doubts. So please post your doubts. Okay. Since you have no doubts, let's begin with AS-19 and let's continue. Let's go to question number 7. Question number 9. Let's do question number 9. Let's go to question number 9. Which is on page number 143. Let's do question number 9 on page number 143. Okay, I'm reading the question for you. Everyone, I want you to reply on the chat box. Right, so your first question is, classify the following either into operating or finance lease. I'm again repeating, I am on page number 143. I am doing question number 9. I will read the question and you will give me the answers on the chat box. Right, so everyone, your attention on page number 143, question number 9. Classify the following either as operating or finance lease. मतलब मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ूंगा और आप मुझे बताओगे कि इज इट एन ऑपरेटिंग लीज or is it a finance lease? Right, so question number 1 says leasee has an option to purchase the asset at lower than fair value at the end of the lease term. Tell me, if the leasee has an option to buy the asset, should it be operating lease or finance lease? When the leasee has a choice, an option to purchase the asset, will it be operating or finance? Okay, very good. It will be finance lease. Okay, everyone agrees this is finance lease. Look at the solution. If it becomes certain at the inception of lease itself that the option will be exercised by the leasee, it will be a finance lease. So yes, of course, there are two things. Buying option is available, and if it is reasonably certain that the option will be exercised, you will always classify it as a finance lease. Are you getting it? Okay. Good. Come to the second question. Now this again you will solve for me. It says economic life of asset is 7 years. कितना year है? कितना life है? 7 years का useful life है. The lease term is 6 years, but the asset is not acquired at the end of the lease term. Think about the question properly. Useful life 7 years. lease tenure 6 years, and at the end you are sure that the ownership will not transfer from the lessor to the leasee. Now when they say that the ownership will not transfer from the lessor to the leasee, which surely means that the first condition is not satisfied, that ownership should transfer from seller to the buyer. However, it is important to understand by how much percentage is the lease term covering the useful life. So we will check that by calculating the useful life and the lease term. How do you do that? You have 6 years as lease term divided by 7 years of useful life. You get how much? 85.17. Since you get 85.17, it exceeds the prescribed criteria, and since it exceeds the prescribed criteria, you will classify it as a finance lease. Yes, so everyone is correct when you say finance lease. Look at the solution. The lease will be classified as a finance lease since the substantial portion of the life of the asset is covered by the lease term. Now that should not be substantial portion, that should be major part. So just correct that. Instead of substantial portion, it has to be major part. So just make that slight change in the solution. It should be major part and not substantial portion. Okay, case number 3. Again, you will solve for me. It says economic life of the asset is 6 years, lease term is 2 years, but the asset is of a special nature and has been procured only for the use of the leasing. Out of 6 years, only 2 years is the lease tenure coverage. When I calculated, I get 33.3%, which means it is not a finance lease. However, it says that the asset is of a specialized nature such that only the leasee can use it. Now, if the asset is of a specialized nature such that only the leasee can use it, then in case that it is definitely a finance lease. Right, let's see. Since the asset is procured only for the use of leasee, it is a finance lease. Very important. It is a finance lease. So it says any one of the conditions should be satisfied. Since one of the conditions is satisfied, that the asset is of a specialized nature, we will call this as a finance. Okay, interesting question. Dhyan dena. Present value of MLP is X. Fair value of the asset is Y. Please add one statement over there. X is equal to Y. मैं फिर से क्वेश्चन लिख रहा हूं यहाँ पे. Present value of MLP is equal to X. Then you have fair value of the asset is equal to Y. And they say X is equal to Y. Tell me, finance lease or operating lease? Think and tell me, is it finance or operating lease? It says present value of MLP क्या है? X है. Fair value Y है. And X is equal to Y. Okay, Raj, if you can explain to me how finance lease on your chat box. Raj, if you can please explain to me why finance lease. Raj, you said finance lease. Just on the chat box, please explain to me why finance lease. Right, so he says because present value of MLP is greater than 90% of fair value. In fact, let me tell you, it is exactly 100% of the fair value. Which means, say for example, if present value of MLP is X, say for example 100, fair value of the asset is Y, also 100, which means 100 is equal to 100, which means both of them are exactly same, which means the present value of MLP covers 100% of the fair value of the asset. Since it covers 100% of the fair value of the asset, obviously it covers more than 90%. Since it covers more than 90%, this is a finance lease, right? So what you said is absolutely correct. This is definitely a finance lease. Are you understanding this? I hope you all are absolutely clear with this. If you have any doubts, please ask me, because now we are going to the next level questions. So just ensure that you're conceptually clear with everything that we have done. Right, I hope each one of you is clear. If you are, let's go to a very important last day revision question. Let's do question number 5. Question number 5, page 140. Question number 5, page 140. Come to question number 5, page 140. Right, I'm reading the question for you. Everyone, your attention should be over here. Remember, you should have a calculator, a notebook, and a pen, because you need to solve this question along with me. Only then you will understand. Right, and there will be a point in the question where every one of you might have a confusion. I will address that also, but please pay attention. Right, this is that kind of a question, so please pay full attention over here. It says BNP Limited availed a lease from N&L Limited. The conditions of the lease are as under. Lease period is 3 years. In the beginning of the year 2010 for an equipment costing rupees 10 lakhs and has an expected useful life of 5 years. Okay, everyone on your calculator. What is our coverage? We are covering the lease tenure is 3 years and the useful life is 5 years. Since the lease tenure is 3 years and useful life is 5 years, we are satisfying how much percentage? 60%. Since 60% does not cover the major part of the useful life of the asset, which is 75%, this is definitely not a finance lease looking at this one condition. We are still to look at the entire question, but looking at the first part, I can decide that 3 divided by 5 into 100, I get 60. I must get minimum 75 in order for it to be classified as a finance lease. Come to the next one. The cost of the asset is 10 lakhs and the fair market value of the asset is also 10 lakhs. So दोनों का value same है. The property reverts back to the lesser, very important point. Property reverts back to the lesser. Tell me on the chat box, if the property reverts back to the lesser, is it finance? Is it a finance lease? Yes or no? If the property reverts back to the lesser at the end of the lease term, is it finance lease? That is my question to you. Of course not. This is not finance lease. Okay, great. Let's proceed then. Third point. The unguaranteed residual value is estimated at rupees 1 lakh at the end of the year 2012. कैसा guaranteed residual? कैसा residual value है? Unguaranteed residual value. Unguaranteed residual value you will use only for the lesser. The unguaranteed residual value is never used for the leasing. Right, आगे पढ़ते हैं. 3 equal annual payments are made at the end of each year. Consider IRR is equal to 10%. आगे पढ़ते हैं. Okay, before I go to that, let me remind you, we have the internal rate of return 10% given in the question. So we will be using that. The present value of rupee 1 due at the end of the third year at 10% rate of interest is 0.7513. मतलब यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ, ध्यान देना. थर्ड ईयर का वैल्यू दिया है कितना? 0.7513. They have given you 7513. Okay, आगे देखो. The present value of any annuity due at the end of the third year at 10% is 2.4868. So for 1 to 3 years, they have given you 2.486. राइट करना क्या है क्वेश्चन में, स्टेट वेदर द लीज कॉन्स्टिट्यूट्स फाइनेंस लीज and also calculate unearned finance income. Now leave unearned finance income as of now. I have not yet taught that concept to you, so leave that. Let's focus on whether the given information tells you that the lease is a finance lease or the lease is an operating lease. Right now everyone's attention over here on your chat box. Everyone, I want to ask you a question, and the question is, can you tell me in the question, what is our lease rent agreed? Look at the question carefully. Understand the question, read the question, and reply to me on the chat box. What is your lease rent agreed? अभी तक हमने दो क्वेश्चन किए हैं, दोनों क्वेश्चन में लीज रेंट अग्रीड हमको दिया हुआ था. इस क्वेश्चन में आप लोग मुझे ढूंढ के बताइए लीज रेंट अग्रीड क्या है. Everyone, read your question carefully, focus, pay attention, and tell me what is our lease rent agreed in the question. Okay. Okay, Mukaddisha, if you can explain to me how did you get double three, double three, double three? Mukaddisha, if on the chat box you can explain to me how did you get double three, double three, double three per annum? What calculation did you do, or what is the logic that you applied and you got double three, double three, double three? Mukaddisha, if you can please explain that to me on the chat box. How did you get double three, double three, double three? Please explain that to me. How did you get double three, double three, double three? If nothing, okay, she says if nothing is given, then we will take lower of lease tenure or expected useful life. Okay, if you take lower of lease tenure or expected useful life, still I didn't understand how did you get double three, double three, double three. Please show us the working. Okay, so you are saying 10 lakhs and you have taken 3. Okay, can you tell me where is it written? Where in accounting standard 19 it is written that you must take lower of lease tenure or expected useful life? Which provision tells you to take lower of the two? My question to you is, which provision tells you to take lower of the two? Where is that provision written? वो provision कहाँ लिखा हुआ है जो आपको ऐसा suggest कर रहा है कि आप lower of the two लीजिए, lease tenure और useful life? Okay, if you can point that out in the module. Are you sure it is written in the module you have to take lower of the two? Because I don't think so. You have to take lower of the two. Okay, I'll give you another, I'll ask you another question in that case. If you, what is 10 lakh rupees? I can see over here on the chat box. I'm writing what you have written on the chat box. Right? Please pay attention and please answer to what I'm saying. I want to understand how do you think in this case. And everyone, please pay attention. You have written this on the chat box. Okay. For a moment, though it is wrong, for a moment I accept 3. What about 10 lakhs? How did you get 10 lakhs? How did you get 10 lakhs? How did you get 10 lakhs? Fair value. Okay. Can I also say that the cost is also 10 lakhs? My question to you is, can I also say that the cost of the asset is 10 lakhs? Yes, since the cost is 10 lakhs. If you take double three, double three, double three on your calculator, if you take double three, double three, double three, multiply it by 3, you will ultimately come back to 9,99,999, which is tentatively 10 lakh rupees. Now, my first logical question to you is, your cost of the asset is 10 lakhs, and the amount that you will recover from the leasing over 3 years, not 1 year, over 3 years, is also 10 lakhs. Then what's your profit? Everyone who said double three, double three, double three, my question to you is, if the cost of the asset is 10 lakhs, the amount that you will recover from the leasing over the lease tenure is 10 lakhs. Then what is your profit? That is my question to you. And if there is no profit, will you do any kind of business without profit? How can you have no profit? Will you do any kind of business without profit? You will of course not do it. So double three, double three, double three is incorrect. You cannot have double three, double three, double three. Right? They have told you कि जितना भी लीज रेंटल आएगा वो 3 इक्वल एनुअल इंस्टॉलमेंट में भरा जाएगा. डज नॉट मीन आप 10 lakhs डिवाइड बाय 6 कर दो. If you do 10 lakhs divided by 6, you will recover after 3 years same amount 10 lakhs. In fact, let me tell you, you are not at a no profit position. You are at a loss position. You will lose interest. The opportunity cost that you have, you will lose. क्योंकि आप जब असेट खरीदोगे तो आज ही पूरा पैसा दे दोगे, आपके बिजनेस से आज ही पैसा चले जाएगा, पर आपका बिजनेस पैसा रिकवर कब करेगा? 3 साल बाद. Which means there is loss of interest, there is loss of time value of money. Your money is being invested and you're not getting any returns. So it is not only a no profit position, it is a loss position. Right now, everyone pay attention to what I'm saying. Looking at the question, I can understand one thing. So please pay attention to what I'm saying. Looking at the question, I can understand one thing, that in this question, lease rent agreed is not given, which means we need to find that. Are you getting it? In this question, lease rent agreed is not given. We need to find it. And because we need to find it, we need to first make a working note that will tell you the lease rent agreed. After that, only we can proceed to the next one. Are you understanding? Right, okay. I hope this is clear to you, that lease rent agreed is not given in the question. You cannot divide it simply by 10 lakhs and find out the lease rent agreed. Lease rent agreed is not given in the question. Because lease rent agreed is not given in the question, we will have to work out and find out the lease rent agreed. Right now, please pay attention to how I solve. I would recommend you not to solve it along with me. Just wait. I will give you time to copy. I will give you, in fact, sufficient time to copy. Just focus on the solution that I am preparing and try and understand. Understanding is very important because we have at least 3 more questions exactly similar to this question. So learn it right now perfectly so that you can easily solve all those 3 questions and any such type of a question. Right, so everyone's attention over here. Your first statement will be, as per accounting standard 19 leases. Right, karna kya hai? State whether the lease constitutes finance lease or not. So determination of the nature of lease. We are trying to determine the nature of the lease, right? Since we are trying to determine the nature of the lease, we will have to look at the 6 conditions that we have. So let's focus on that. Condition 1. Let's go to condition 1. Condition 1 says that the property, condition 1 says that ownership property in goods or property on the asset should ownership of the asset should transfer from the lessor to the leasee. Does that happen in this case? Yes or no on your chat box. Is the ownership transferring from lessor to the leasee? Is the ownership transferring from lessor to the leasee? In this case, no, it is not transferring. So the first case, ownership does not transfer from the lessor to the leasee. Right, first condition is satisfied. First condition is not satisfied. That ownership transfers from lessor to the leasee. It does not. Second, is there anywhere any mention in the question regarding buying option is available and it is reasonably certain that the option will be exercised? ऐसा कोई भी information question में दिया हुआ है कि buying option is available and it is reasonably certain that the option will be exercised? On your chat box, is any such information given that buying option is available and it is reasonably certain that the option will be exercised? Of course it is not given. So second, buying option is not available in the question. Buying option is not available in the question. Okay. Third, ऐसा कहीं दिया हुआ है कि leased asset is of a specialized nature such that only the leasee can use it? ऐसा कहीं पे भी mention किया है question में that leased asset is of a specialized nature such that only the leasee can use it? On your chat box, everyone, I want everyone to answer and everyone to think. So leased asset is not of a specialized nature. Leased asset is not of a specialized nature. Okay. Fourth point, lease is non-cancelable. ऐसा कहीं पे दिया हुआ है lease is non-cancelable in the question? Please check and tell me. ऐसा कहीं पे दिया हुआ है lease is non-cancelable? Not given. So fourth condition also not satisfied. Lease is not non-cancelable. Lease is also not non-cancelable. Okay, condition number 5. It says lease tenure covers major part of the useful life of the asset. Let's put that. Lease tenure. कितना है lease tenure question में? Everyone on your chat box. What is the lease tenure in the question? What is the lease tenure in the question? 3 years. Lease tenure in the question. Okay, very good. 3 years. What is the useful life of the asset? What is the useful life of the asset? 5 years. Okay. In terms of percentage, it is how much? 3 divided by 5 into 100. How much do you get? 60. 3 divided by 5 into 100. You get how much? 60. Right, which means it does not cover major part of the useful life. So let's put that also. Lease tenure does not cover major part of useful life of the asset. Lease tenure does not cover major part of useful life of the asset. Fine, let's go to the sixth condition now. It says present value of MLP covers substantial portion of the fair value of the asset. Okay, tell me, what is your fair value of the asset in the question? What is your fair value of the asset in the question? Can anyone tell me fair value of the asset in the question? Your fair value of the asset in the question is 10 lakhs. Okay. Now, do you know the lease rent agreed in the question. You do not know the lease rent agreed in the question. So we need to find the lease rent agreed in the question. Okay, everyone's attention over here. Everyone's attention over here. Let me prepare working note 1. Working note 1. Calculation of lease rent agreed. Calculation of lease rent agreed. Okay, let's prepare the format. You have here lease rentals, present value factor, present value which should be in rupees. Okay, all your attention on the question and the manner in which I am solving it. Okay, how many years are there in the question? 3 years. So 1 to 3 years. I do not know the lease rental, so I am leaving that blank. Pay attention to how I am solving it. पहले 3 साल का हमारा लीज टेन्योर है. लीज रेंटल मुझे पता नहीं है, तो मैं उसको ब्लैंक छोड़ देता हूँ. प्रेजेंट वैल्यू फैक्टर 3 साल का मिला के कितना है? लुक एट द क्वेश्चन एंड हेल्प मी आउट. 3 साल का मिला के प्रेजेंट वैल्यू फैक्टर कितना है? Look at the question and tell me what is your present value factor for the 3 years. Your present value factor for 3 years is how much? You get 2.4868. So I'm writing over here 2.4868. That is your present value factor for the 3 years. Now, since you do not know the lease rentals, it is obvious you will not know the present value as well. So I'm leaving these two blank, right? I'm putting a sign also over there. These two values are blank. I have not yet inserted any values over here. Come to the last year, third year, you have unguaranteed residual value of how much? Unguaranteed residual value. How much? 1 lakh rupees. So I'm taking over here 1 lakh unguaranteed residual value. Now please pay attention to what I'm writing over here. Unguaranteed residual value is not included. I'm writing in bold alphabets, please understand. Is not included in the books of leasee in finance lease. I agree with this statement. Right, I hope you all agree with this statement on your chat box. Yes or no? Do you agree with this statement कि फाइनेंस लीज में लीजी की बुक्स में अनगारंटीड रेसिडुअल वैल्यू इंक्लूड नहीं होता है? क्या आप इससे अग्री करते हो? एवरीवन अग्रीज विद दिस, राइट? I hope you all agree with this. Okay, but my question to you is, when I'm making this lease rental, when I'm preparing this working, have I decided whether this is finance lease? जब मैं ये बना रहा हूँ, क्या मुझे अभी तक पता चल गया है कि ये फाइनेंस लीज है, ऑपरेटिंग लीज है? When I'm making this working, do I know is it finance or operating lease? No. Means this is not a working. Understand, this is not a working to calculate MLP. This is a working to find out lease rent agreed. This is a working to find out lease rent agreed. And when I'm finding out lease rent agreed, I can use unguaranteed residual value. When I calculate present value of MLP, I need not take the unguaranteed residual value. I will only take the guaranteed residual value. वो तब आता है जब डिसीजन हमने ले लिया है कि ये फाइनेंस लीज है और लीजी की बुक्स में एंट्री कर रहे हैं, पर अभी तो हमने ये डिसीजन ही नहीं लिया है कि ये फाइनेंस लीज है. अभी तो हम ढूंढ रहे हैं कि पहले हमें लीज रेंट मिले, उसके बाद हम प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ एमएलपी ढूंढे, तब जाके हमको पता चलेगा ये फाइनेंस है या ऑपरेटिंग लीज है. मतलब अभी तक हमने फाइनेंस या ऑपरेटिंग लीज ये डिसीजन लिया नहीं है, तो हम लोग अनगारंटीड रेसिडुअल वैल्यू यूज कर सकते हैं. आर यू क्लियर विद दिस? Are you absolutely clear with this? If there are any doubts, let me take that first. Is everyone clear with this? Everyone on your chat box, please. Are you clear with this? Okay, since you're clear with this, let's proceed. Can you tell me what is the present value factor for the third year? What is your present value factor for the third year? Present value factor for the third year. 0.7513. Take 1 lakh into 0.7513. You get how much? 75,180. 75,180. The total that you will get is cost of the equipment. Now, whenever you have cost and fair value to be the same, you will take over your cost of the equipment. How much do you have? Cost of the equipment is 10 lakhs. Remember this sentence of mine. Whenever in the question you have cost and fair value of the equipment or are exactly the same, you can take over your cost of the equipment or the fair value. You can write anything because ultimately it will match because your value of cost and fair value is exactly same. So it will come to 10 lakhs. So you can write cost of equipment over here. Now, if this much is clear, can we find out the missing values? My question to you is, can we find out the missing values? And if yes, can you help me with the first missing value, that is this one? The blue one is your first missing value. You get how much? 10 lakhs minus you get 10 lakhs minus 75,130. How much do you get? Everyone on your chat box, how much do you get? You get 9 lakh 24,870. Okay, can you tell me the missing value in yellow? What will be the missing value in yellow? What will be the missing value in yellow? Your lease rent per annum will be how much? Your lease rent per annum will be how much? 3,71,911.6937. You get 3,71,911.69. Right? Are you getting this? Okay, let me put this for you. These two are missing values. Or you can also call them as balancing figures. These two are nothing but your missing values and your balancing figures. Are you getting it? Which means I have got that my present value of MLP, the lease rent that will be used is 3,71,911. Okay. Are you absolutely clear till here? If you're clear till here only, then I'll go to the next part. If you're clear till here only, then I'll go to the next part. Are you clear till here only, then I will go to the next part. I'm again repeating for you. Lease rent per annum is not given in the question, so we need to find that. How did we find that? We tried to calculate using the same structure and format that we have. Now, in this case, you will take 3,71,911 and 693.6937. That is the value that you found. You will leave that blank at the beginning. You will leave the present value also at the beginning. You will just substitute the values given to you. If your present value factor is at 10%, you take 2.4868. In the third place, where I've taken unguaranteed residual value, remember I have not yet decided that this is a finance lease, so I will have to include this in order to find out. Now, someone has asked me a question that what if the guaranteed residual value was also given? So if the guaranteed residual value was also given in the question, in this case you will take the total residual value, which means guaranteed plus unguaranteed both you will have to include and take it over here. Next, it says then you have 1 lakh, the unguaranteed residual portion. However, you will take guaranteed, unguaranteed both if guaranteed is given in the question. Then you will get 75130. Now, since the fair value and the cost are same, your total value will be 10 lakhs. And then we start filling up the missing values. So 10 lakh minus 75,130, you get 9,24,870. You divide that by 2.4868, you will get your lease rental per annum, that is 3,71,911.6937. Right? So I hope, Raj, that solves your doubt. You will take both in that case. I have one more doubt, which says the lease term is 3 years and the useful life of the asset is 5 years. Then how is it justified that we recover the whole cost in 3 years? It is of course justified, Sprua, because your lease rental does not only cover the principal portion that you have, it also covers the interest part. So of course you will be earning interest part because you are buying the asset outright and you are giving the right to use the asset, and you're asking for payments in installments. Since you're asking for payments in installments, you are giving a financing arrangement, and since you are giving a financing arrangement, it is your duty, it is your right to earn interest. So your lease rental per annum will also cover your interest portion, and that is why you can recover the entire part. See, please understand, the business of lease is a huge investment business. Everyone may not have the same amount of money to invest in lease business, so they may also take a loan in order to run the lease business. So they have to recover all the costs, so definitely they will be earning some amount of interest, and that interest is included in the lease rent, right? So that is why you have that much coverage in the lease rentals itself, right? I hope that solves your doubt. Right, Spruha, do let me know if that solves your doubt. Let's proceed then. Okay, now concentrate on the next part. Can anyone tell me on the chat box what is present value of MLP now in this question? Now, since I have got everything, I have got the lease rental per annum. Can someone on the chat box calculate for me what is your present value of MLP? And remember, now present value of MLP will not include the unguaranteed residual value. वो अनगारंटीड आपने क्यों यूज किया? क्योंकि आपको लीज रेंटल ढूंढना था, अब लीज रेंटल मिल गया है। अब क्या ढूंढना है? प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ एमएलपी। उसमें क्या आता है? लीज रेंट अग्रीड प्लस गारंटीड रेसिडुअल वैल्यू ओनली। अब जब आप प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ एमएलपी ढूंढ रहे हैं तो मैं आपको एक हिंट दे रहा हूं, you will not include the unguaranteed residual value. I want each one of you to calculate and write it to me on the chat box. What is your present value of MLP? Everyone on the chat box, I want to understand from you what is the present value of MLP. Okay, Aman Rajput, I would request you to please check the amount that you have written, 982470. Okay, I have one more doubt which says, why should the leasee, then why should not the leasee purchase the asset on loan since he is paying the entire amount of the asset in lease also? Raj, please understand, we have still not decided whether this is a finance lease or an operating lease and whether the ownership is getting transferred. So just hold on, let the question get over, then automatically you will understand this. one more thing, if you're comparing with loan, let me bring something to your attention which I told you yesterday as well, but again I am repeating, so please pay attention. It's a the concept of loan is that bank will give you the amount, you will use that amount to buy the asset, but you will pay the amount in installments, which means बैंक से आपने पैसा लिया है लेकिन asset के लिए use नहीं कर रहे हो, which means that money is lying idle, and on that idle funds also you are paying interest to the bank. Bank loan is different, finance lease or operating lease or any kind of lease is different. In lease, you get into an agreement with the owner of the asset and you try to use that person's asset and you pay in installments, right? Installments, which is also known as series of payments, also known as lease rentals. Are you understanding? Plus, when you go to a bank, and okay, when you have, see, a person giving out the asset on lease will give out various types and assets of various nature on lease, and every asset has different kinds of interest, different kinds of lease rentals. All these kind of mix benefits will not be available when you go to a bank loan. Bank will only tell you हमने इतना पैसा दिया है, इतने टाइम के लिए दिया है, आपको इतना इंटरेस्ट पे करना पड़ेगा. However, you have special kinds of understanding, special kind of agreement when you enter into a lease agreement, right? And that is why you will have to understand, that you cannot straight away compare with the loan. At least till the question is not complete, you cannot come to that decision, right? I hope now the concept of and the difference between the loan and this lease is completely clear to you. Okay, now let's go to present value of MLP. You have 9,24,870, right? You have 9,24,870 is the present value of MLP. Can you tell me the fair value of the asset? Can you tell me the fair value of the asset? On your chat box, fair value of the asset? 10 lakhs. Okay. One more question. Percentage of lease, percentage of present value of MLP covering fair value of the asset, which means 924,870 divided by 10 lakhs multiply by 100. How much do you get? You get how much? 92.487%. Everyone gets 92.487%. Everyone on your chat box, how much do you get? 9,24,870 divided by 10 lakhs into 100. How much do you get? Everyone gets 92.487. So since everyone gets 92.487, does this exceed 90%? Does it cover substantial portion of the asset? Does it cover substantial portion of the fair value of the asset? Yes or no? Does it cover substantial portion of the fair value of the asset? Yes, it does. So I'm writing over here, present value of MLP covers substantial portion of the fair value of the asset. I'm writing into brackets, that is 92.487%. From where did you get 92.487%? We have already mentioned working note number 1. Final statement. Since the fair value of the asset covers It will be since the present value of MLP covers substantial portion of the fair value of the asset, the above lease is a finance lease. Right, very important statement. Since the present value of MLP covers substantial portion of the fair value of the asset, which means one of the 6 conditions is satisfied, you will classify this as a finance lease. Right? Please understand the solution once again. Till that I have one doubt. Let me just resolve that. Then I'll come to your doubts if there are any. And then you can start solving this question. And after that, we will move to the unearned finance income. That is a new concept that we are going to do. Before that, I have one doubt which says we are not clear that whether we are recording this transaction in the books of lessor or lessee. Then how do we decide whether to consider unguaranteed residual value or not? Okay. So I'll just answer this doubt. So the one who has asked me this doubt, if you can please read the question. If you please read the question, and can you please type over here the first sentence of the question. Can you please type over here the first sentence of the question? The one who has asked me this question, I request you to just type on the chat box the first sentence of the question. Only the first sentence, which says BNP Limited availed lease from NNL Limited. Please just type the first statement over here. Okay, we have it over here. It says BNP Limited availed a lease from N and L Limited. Okay. If I read the question in this way, what do you interpret? Who are you? BNP Limited or NNL Limited? Look at this question and interpret. Who are you? BNP Limited and or NNL Limited? इतना sentence पढ़ के आपको क्या लगता है? And since nothing else is given in the question, you are BNP Limited. Okay, Spru, I have a different question for you. मान लो आप NNL Limited होते, मान लो एक मिनट के लिए आप NNL Limited होते. Can you just redraft this statement on the chat box for me? कि तब क्वेश्चन का पहला स्टेटमेंट क्या होता अगर आप NNL Limited होते तो? What would have been the statement of the question at that time? What would have been the statement of the question at that time if you were N and L Limited? अगर आप N and L Limited होते तो सेंटेंस क्या होता आपके हिसाब से? What you are writing is incorrect. It would be this way. Okay, so now read this statement. If I had NNL Limited leased out an asset to BNP Limited, now can I say you are NNL Limited? You agree with that? Right. So since in this case BNP Limited availed the lease, you are BNP Limited. Since you availed the lease, you are the leasee. Right. I hope that is clear to you. Okay, perfect. Chalo. Now, since this question is important and I only told you that please do not copy the question as of now, I will give you sufficient time to copy. Please copy this question line by line, and if you have any doubts, please ask me. Once you're done with this part, please write on the chat box. I will scroll down. Solve it properly. Do not think that okay, we will solve later, we have the solution. Don't do all that. I request you to solve it right now with me. Please copy this. Condition 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just copy it down and put it on the chat box. I will scroll down. Take down the remaining portion. To prepare your working note properly, to mention the two balancing figures that you calculated. To properly prepare your working note, you need to prepare this in this manner in the exam. This is a frequently asked exam question. This is your last day revision question. Do prepare this working note properly. Right, once you're done, just put on the chat box that you're done. Okay, right. So I hope this is done and this is absolutely clear to everyone and you have no doubts. Let's go to the next part, which is the second part, calculation of unearned finance income. Calculation of unearned finance income. Right, let's prepare the format for that. Prepare it with me. This you can prepare with me. So please prepare this format. Prepare this format properly. Okay, we need to calculate unearned finance income. Now, please understand unearned finance income. How? Let me first calculate. Once I calculate, you will easily understand the concept that as to what is unearned finance income. My first question to you is, I want lease rent agreed for 3 years. So, can you tell me the lease rent agreed for lease rent agreed per annum? Can you tell me the lease rent agreed per annum? I want to know from you the lease rent agreed per annum. You get 3,71,911.69. Okay, all attention over here. Absolutely correct. You have 3,71,911.69 multiply by 3. Let me also put over here lease rent. Okay, let's calculate this. 3,71,911.69 into 3 years. How much do you get? You get 11 lakh 15,735. So you have 11 lakh 15,735. Okay, everyone on your chat box, a very important question, please pay attention. Right, I want everyone's attention on your chat box. You will understand what I'm trying to ask and then you will reply. Okay, full attention to what I'm asking you. My question to you is, for any lease, any kind of lease, is income for whom? Lessor or leasee? Any kind of lease is an income for whom? Lessor or leasee? Any kind of income is lesser from whom? For whom? The lessor or the leasee? Everyone agrees it is for the lesser? Okay, great. If it is for the lesser, my second question to you is, for a lesser, what do you take? Guaranteed residual value or unguaranteed residual value or both? What do you take? Guaranteed residual value, unguaranteed residual value, or both? What do you take? Of course, you take both guaranteed and unguaranteed residual value. Since in this question I have only unguaranteed residual value, I am taking that unguaranteed residual value 1 lakh. Are you getting it? I am taking unguaranteed residual value is 1 lakh. The total comes to 12,15,735. So your total will come to 12,15,735. You get 12,15,735. Solve till your problem. Okay, are you done till here? Are you done till here? Are you done till here? Yes or no? Only then I can proceed to the next part. Okay, since you're done till here, let's proceed. Okay, your attention on what I'm writing. What is the present value of your investment in the question? आपने जितना पैसा इन्वेस्ट किया है उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू क्या है? Look at this. 3,71,911.69. उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू आता है 9,24,870. सामने unguaranteed residual value is 75,130. Since we are thinking from the viewpoint of the lesser, we have to include 75,130 also, which means कि वैसे तो 3,71,911 है, लेकिन प्रेजेंट वैल्यू को कंसीडर करने के बाद कितना था? 9,24,870. वैसे तो अनगारंटीड रेसिडुअल वैल्यू 1 लाख है, लेकिन ये आज की वैल्यू है. 3 साल बाद टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी के हिसाब से कितना वैल्यू आएगा? 75,130. सो योर प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट कम्स टू हाउ मच? 10 lakh rupees. Let's deduct that. Present value of investment is 10 lakhs. Present value of your investment is 10 lakhs. The remaining part is unearned finance income, which means 12 lakh 15,735 minus 10 lakhs. You get 2 lakh 15,735. This is your unearned finance income. Right? Just copy this down, unearned finance income, and then I will explain to you the entire concept of unearned finance income. I'm sorry, I just by mistake scrolled that up. This is your unearned finance income. Your unearned finance income is 2,15,735. Just copy this down, then I'll explain the entire concept of unearned finance income. Right, okay. I hope you have copied this much down. Have you completed the question? Are you done up with copying the solution? Yes. Okay. Now everyone's attention over here. If I talk from the viewpoint of lesser, and I must talk from the viewpoint of lesser because I'm talking about income, क्योंकि मैं lesser का viewpoint ले रहा हूँ, मैं income के बारे में सोच रहा हूँ, क्योंकि ये चीज फाइन, ये लीज जो है वो लेसर के लिए इनकम है, मतलब मुझे लेसर का व्यू पॉइंट लेना है। टेक्निकली और लॉजिकली लेसर को एक साल में 3,71,911 रुपीज मिलने चाहिए थे, जिसका मतलब है उसको 3 साल में 11,15,735 रुपए मिलने चाहिए थे। He should have received 11,15,735 in 3 years time frame. Considering 3,71,911 for 1 year, for 3 years he should have received 11,15,735. उसके ऊपर उसको मिलना चाहिए था unguaranteed residual value of rupees 1 lakh. Adding in total he should have received 12,15,735. So I'm writing over here, lesser should have received. Lesser should have received 12,15,735. Let's come to the next part. यही 12,15,735 इंफॉर्मेशन मैंने यहाँ पे ली थी, यही सेम चीज, बट प्रॉब्लम इज बिकॉज ऑफ टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी द वैल्यू रिड्यूस्ड, विच मीन्स मुझे मिलना चाहिए था 12,15,735, बट आई एक्चुअली रिसीव्ड हाउ मच? 10 lakhs only. ध्यान देना, I actually received how much? I actually received 10 lakhs. Now please understand, it is actually incorrect to say that I actually received 10 lakhs, but for your ease and for your understanding I am writing over here. Actually if you understand, आपको 12,15,735 रुपए ही मिले, आपको कम नहीं मिले, आपको उतने ही पैसे मिले. The problem is the value of money has reduced because of time frame. The value of money has reduced because of the time frame. Are you understanding? Which means लेसर को मिलना चाहिए था 12,15,735, उसको मिला उतना ही, लेकिन 3 साल बाद उसकी वैल्यू कितनी हो गई? 10 लाख रुपए. तो बाकी के पैसे जो हमको कम मिले, जो हमारे चले गए बिकॉज ऑफ टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी, इज नोन एज माय अनअर्न्ड फाइनेंस इनकम. So this unearned finance income is a result of time value of money. ये किस वजह से कम आ रहा है, इतना डिफरेंस क्यों आ रहा है? इट इज ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी. राइट, आई विल गिव यू अ लेमैन एग्जांपल. Say for example, one dairy milk today costs rupees 10. One dairy milk chocolate costs rupees 10, right? And your salary is also 10. Which means, can you afford the dairy milk? Yes, we can afford. 10 रुपए हमारी सैलरी है, 10 रुपए की डेयरी मिल्क मिलती है, हमारे पास 10 रुपए आ जाते हैं सैलरी के, हम डेयरी मिल्क अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, ध्यान देना. Your salary is still 10, but now dairy milk is costing rupees 15. क्या हमारी अर्निंग कम हुई? नहीं, आज भी 10 रुपए ही मिल रहे हैं, पर मेरे 10 रुपए का परचेजिंग पावर कम हो गया है. जो 10 रुपए मुझे डेयरी मिल्क दिलवा दी थी, अब वो नहीं दिलवाएगी. क्यों? क्योंकि डेयरी मिल्क का प्राइस 10 से 15 हो गया है. विच मीन्स by passage of time my salary remained the same, but due to inflation, due to time value of money, the price of the product increased, right? So now I cannot afford this. Similarly, I got 12,15,735, but due to time value of money, its purchasing power is how much? Only rupees 10 lakhs. That is why my unearned finance income comes to 2,15,735. Right? Are you conceptually clear with this entire question? My question to you is everyone clear with this entire question? If you are clear, only then I will proceed. If you are not clear, let's not proceed. Let's again take the doubts and explain everything again to you. So I request each one of you to reply to me on the chat box. Are you clear with this entire question? Very important exam question we did. Question number 5. Right, everyone on your chat box, are you clear with this question? Question number 5. Is everyone clear with unearned finance income? Okay, I have one doubt which says the value we received is present value only. Then won't it recover the loss due to value of money? I didn't understand your question. Okay, so Spruha, I request you to again post your doubt properly so that I understand. By that time, I have one more doubt which says that uh, do we have to show unearned finance income anywhere? So technically, if you talk about presenting financial statements, you never show unearned finance income. If the lessor wants to understand what is my loss due to time value of money, then he will calculate the unearned finance income. Otherwise, you do not have to show it prima facie anywhere in the financial statements. Right. So I hope Mayur that solves your doubt. Yes, of course. When I revise this question once again, I will repeat unearned finance income. So you will have to wait a bit for that. So Sprua, if you can just post your doubt once again, then I will solve that and then we proceed. By that time, let me quickly revise this question with you so that we can then proceed to the next question, last question for today, which says, in the question, the lease rent agreed was not given. So we first calculated the lease rent agreed. For that, we used the unguaranteed residual value, and then we did the reverse calculation and found out the lease rent agreed. Then when we tried to find out the percentage of present value of MLP covering the fair value of the asset, we took this 924870, which came to 92.49%. Since it came to 92.49%, it exceeds 90%, so this is definitely a finance lease. After that, we tried to figure out the unearned finance income. Unearned finance income means आपको actually कितना मिलना चाहिए था, but because of time value of money, जो पैसे मिले उसकी value अब कितनी हो गई? So you should have actually received 12,15,735, but क्योंकि ये पैसे आपको 3 साल के बाद मिल रहे हैं, please understand, क्योंकि ये पैसे आपको 3 साल के बाद मिल रहे हैं, its value gets reduced to 10 lakh. So what is the income that you could not earn? That is 2,15,735, which is known as, in this case, your unearned finance income. Right, okay. So the doubt says that the value 3,71,911 is the present value of 9,24,870. Then won't we be able to recover the loss that we would be suffering due to time value of money? I don't think so. That 3,71,911 is your time value of money. That's your original value. See, and that is logical. आपने 3,71,911 3 से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो आपको आपका 11,15,000 आया, जबकि यहाँ पे आपने ही लिखा, it comes to what? 924,870. So what you're saying is not correct. 3,71,911 is not your present value. उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू जब हम निकालते हैं तो आपका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू आता है 924,870. So 924,870 is the present value, and that is why you used it over here to calculate the percentage of present value of MLP covering the fair value of the asset. So 3,71,911 is not the present value, it is 924,870, that is the present value. Right, I hope that solves your doubt. If you are absolutely clear with this, let's do one last question for today. Let's try solving question number 6. Let's solve question number 6. Let's solve question number 6, which is given to you on page 141. Put your first statement as per AS-19 leases. Let's read the question. An equipment. Everyone's attention on page number 141, question number 6. Right? You will solve this question alongside me. Right? So please understand and focus. It says an equipment having an expected useful life of 5 years is leased for 3 years. Both the cost and the fair value of the equipment is 6 lakhs. मतलब sorry, question में दिया हुआ है कि cost और fair value दोनों कितना है, 6 lakh rupees है. The amount will be paid in 3 equal installments at the time of termination of lease. Lessor will get back the equipment. Matlab, this is not a finance lease at the first place. Lessor is going to get back the equipment. The unguaranteed residual value at the end of the third year is how much? 60,000. So आपका unguaranteed residual value कितना है? 60,000. The IRR of the investment is 10%. Present value of annuity factor is 2.4868, and for the third year it is 0.7513. Exactly same values है. करना क्या है question में? State with reason whether the lease constitutes a finance lease and also calculate unearned finance income. Right. So since we have already done a similar kind of question earlier, let's try and solve it. This time you will solve along with me and we will go together. And of course, I will need your help in solving this question. So please pay attention and keep giving me information on the chat box. Put your first statement. As per AS-19, determination of nature of lease. Put your first statement as per AS-19, determination of nature of lease. Okay, my first question to you is the ownership coming back to the lessor? क्या ownership lesser के पास वापस आ रही है? That is my question. So Dipesh, I request you to understand the question again. क्या ownership lesser के पास वापस आ रही है? Yes, which means the first condition is not getting satisfied. So the first condition that does not get satisfied is ownership does not transfer from lessor to leasing. Please write ownership does not transfer from lesser to leasing. Put your first condition, ownership does not transfer from lessor to leasing. Okay, my second question to you, is buying option available in the question? Is buying option available in the question? That's my question to you. Is buying option available? No, which means the second condition for finance lease is not satisfied. So I'm writing over here, buying option is not available. Buying option is not available. Put that as well. So buying option is not available. Second condition is not getting satisfied. Is it given anywhere in the question that the leased asset is of a specialized nature? Is it given anywhere in the question that the leased asset is of a specialized nature? Look at the question and tell me, is it anywhere given in the question that the leased asset is of a specialized nature? No. So I'm writing over here, leased asset is not of a specialized nature. Leased asset is not of a specialized nature. Is it anywhere given in the question that the lease is non-cancelable? Look at the question and on your chat box. Is it given anywhere that the lease is non-cancelable? ऐसा कहीं दिया हुआ है कि lease is non-cancelable? Look at the question and tell me, is it given anywhere that the lease is non-cancelable? It is not given anywhere that the lease is non-cancelable. Since it is not given, this condition is also not getting satisfied. Okay, let's come to the fifth condition. What's the lease tenure? What is your lease tenure? 3 years. And what is the useful life? 5 years. So percentage of lease tenure covering the useful life is 3 divided by 5 into 100. You get how much? 60? Let's show that working over here. 3 divided by 5 into 100. You get how much? 60? Since 60 is less than 75, we will put over here lease tenure does not cover major part of the useful life of the asset. It does not cover major part of the useful life of the asset. So this condition is also not satisfied. Now let's move to the last condition. Present value of MLP covers substantial portion of the fair value of the asset. Let's solve it. Prepare a proper format. Again, you have 1 to 3 years. Your lease rentals are not given in the question, so you will leave that blank. You have 2.4868. Leave this blank as well. In the third year, you have an unguaranteed residual value of 60,000. You have unguaranteed residual value of 60,000, 0.7513. 0.7513. You get 45,078. Your cost of the equipment in the question is 6 lakhs. Your balancing figure will be 59 lakh 54,000. I'm sorry, this is 6 lakhs. 5 lakh 54,922. 5 lakh 54,922. We also need the rental per annum, which will be 2,23,147. So you have 2,23,147. get 2,23,147. Right. So what's your present value of MLP? This time do not take the unguaranteed residual value. You will get 554,922. Divide that by 6 lakhs. Your fair value of the asset is 6 lakhs. Let's calculate that. You have 5,54,922 divided by 6 lakhs. You again get the same value. You get how much? 92.487. Does it exceed 75? Does it exceed the substantial portion 90%? Yes, it does. Which means this is a finance lease. 92.49%. Since the present value of MLP covers substantial portion of fair value of the asset, the above is a finance lease. The above is a finance lease. Put that statement. The above is a finance lease. Okay, fine. The first part of the question is done. Now let's go to the unearned finance income. Let's go to the unearned finance income. Okay, let's calculate. First, let's try and find out what is your lease rent per annum. So look at the value that you found, 2,23,147. So you have 2,23,147. 2,23,147.02 multiply by 3. You get 6 lakh 69,441. Since it is income, it is from the viewpoint of the lessor. The lessor takes both guaranteed as well as unguaranteed residual value. You will take over here 60,000. You will take over here 60,000, which means हमको कितना मिलना चाहिए था? 7,29,441. उसकी जगह हमको कितना मिला? 6 lakhs. So against that we got how much? 6 lakhs. So what is your unearned finance income? 1,29,441.06. You get how much? 1,29,441. So your unearned finance income is 1,29,441. Right, you get 1,29,441. Right, that's it. That brings you to the end of question number 6. Quickly on your chat box, are you clear? with the two questions we did today? Are you clear with the two questions we did today? Everyone, I request you to mention on your chat box whether you are clear with the two questions we did today or not. Right, I request each one of you to quickly reply on the chat box whether you are clear with today's question or not. Everyone on your chat box, are you clear with today's questions or not? Because tomorrow again we will go to one level ahead. Right, we'll try and solve a bit more technical question compared to this. So it is very important that the base of these two questions is absolutely clear. So I want everyone on the chat box. You have Spruha, Akshay, Raj, Pawan, everyone. Are you clear with this question? Quickly on the chat box. Okay, fine. I think this much is sufficient for today. So you will go back home, you will go back today and revise the two questions that we did and the entire concept of unearned finance income and how do we calculate and how do we find out the lease rental per annum. Right, so ensure that you again solve these questions and revise them thoroughly. I will share this solution with you in a while, but till then quickly revise and ensure that you solve these questions again, and I will now see you at 3:30 for audit. Right, thank you so much for attending, and please do revise whatever we have done. I'll see you at 3:30. Bye.